What's up, guys? Coach Cam back again with a leg day here. So I added 2.5 pounds to my quad extension, so up to 145 pounds now. I made really good progress on this exercise and some of the others where I added a little bit of weight and hit basically the same amount of time, similar reps. So it's always good to make progress. And when you are making progress in your exercises, you know you're getting stronger. You know that you can now produce more force against a given load than you could before. And a lot of people in the exercise science research community believe that strength is 1 rep max. Guys, strength is a component of 1 rep max, but it is not all there is to 1 rep max. If you pick, say, a pull-up 1 rep max, do you think that demonstrates the max force that your lats can produce? Maybe not, really, because the lats aren't the only exercise in the pull-up. Maybe there's a different machine or different exercise, like a pull-over machine, something like that, where you could see the force production of just the lats, but really, there's always going to be other muscle groups and other muscles involved in certain movements. So even with a pull-up 1 rep max, I mean, you have your forearms, your arms, all the muscles of your back, right? There's a lot more that goes into it. So that, while strength is one component, another component is your neuromuscular system. How good are you at firing those motor units to produce force rapidly and move the weight up, right? In a 1 rep max situation. How much do you practice? Do you practice pull-ups? Have you been practicing them for years? Your body's going to be much more accustomed to that movement if you've been practicing it for years. So there's all these advantages and disadvantages to training for 1 rep max that will get one person a better 1 rep max, another person might have a worse 1 rep max. Well, they are still just as strong. They just don't have the limb lengths that would make a better pull-up 1 rep max. They don't have the grip strength. They don't have biomechanical advantages that someone else might have. Maybe their grip is more narrow, someone else's is wider. You have to think about all this. This comes into play when it comes to 1 rep max. So while strength is one component of your 1 rep max, it's not the only component. It does not isolate a muscle's strength. So you want to make progress, and when you're making progress on compound exercises like this, you're heading in the right direction for all of the muscles involved in that exercise. So it's not as much about isolating it, but it is getting all the muscles that are involved in the exercise to a point of fatigue, high fatigue, fatigue enough to stress it to warrant an adaptive response. So here you can see doing Romanian deadlifts. I did about 3 reps more than last time. And really the low back still feels like a limiting factor. I'm going to keep working this until I want to change exercises, I guess. But so far so good. But there's nothing special about this exercise. A lot of people online want to say, deadlifts are so special, squats are so special, pull-ups are so special. It's like contracting the muscles of your body is what makes anything special or relevant or giving you an adaptive response. So no, there is no special exercises. It's great that we have exercises that are already established that you can pick from, but the whole point is to contract the muscles. If you could come up with an exercise that no one's ever heard of, but it actually contracted certain muscles very hard, that would be a viable way to train those muscles. So don't get pigeonholed in thinking you have to pick exercises that you already see online or that people have already established. Remember, since the primary objective is to deeply fatigue muscle fibers in order to sequentially recruit them until you've recruited all of the motor units that are available, you don't have to have machines to do that. You don't have to have dumbbells. You don't have to have barbells. You could, quite frankly, walk up to something that's an immovable object, say a bar in the ground, and you could grab that bar like you're going to do a biceps curl, and you could produce as much force as you possibly could through your biceps and hold that in like an isometric form for 30 seconds or so. and you'll get an insane pump, and you'll have deeply fatigued your biceps muscle fibers. It's just a matter of you putting forth a really high amount of effort. So you don't need any special equipment. There are no exercises that are special or make a much bigger difference in terms of your results. Your results are going to come down to you contracting muscles against enough resistance to threaten your body for an adaptive response. So the weight does not matter as much. It needs to be moderate, it needs to be challenging enough, but it needs to ultimately come from the amount of effort that you put forth into the exercise. Is what's going to stimulate the body to grow. So same flexes as usual, and here is my workout over there on the right. So yeah, all my workouts now take like 12 minutes. So I'm glad I have my garage gym, don't have to go anywhere, just get it done, and then go back inside, start eating, sleeping, all that. So make sure you're eating good, sleeping good, and you should be making progress as often as you're capable, right? I mean, if you need more recovery, then take more days.